just wanna party, turn it on again. She came to get naughty and forgot my friends. I just wanna party, turn it on again. I came here to start it on again. I just wanna party, turn it on again. She came to get naughty and forgot my friends. I just wanna party, turn it on again. I came here to start it.
Hello. Good Monday evening. I think it's Monday, right? Yes, it's definitely Monday. So tonight is going to be, kind of dark. It's a little better, I think. Tonight's going to be kind of probably slow. Especially at first, but it's part of building with AI. Honestly, you've got to plan and think out things. So if anybody's watching or comes in, tell me where you're from. Tell me something you're working on, or what you think about Opus, or what do you think about maybe the new Spud model coming out this week, I think, from OpenAI. Bring up something and we'll talk about it. Otherwise, we're gonna just kind of chill out and work here and see what we can get done. We're working on a little project called PDFer. It's a terrible name. It's a terrible name, but we can change the name, right? We can change the name. We just got to get a project working. So what we're doing is this is actually it. And you can see this is a very, very bad UI, which did not concentrate on this. I wanted to get the actual logic and the actual project or product to work. So that's what I concentrated on. Well, it's working. So now it's time to make this ugly, very 1998, 97 looking, maybe 97 UI. And this is not my forte, but we're going to try to make it a little better. I have an idea, so that's kind of what we're working on. And there we go. Get my keys right here. So I'm using TL Draw, which is an awesome free whiteboard. And I'm trying to just kind of sketch out something, and I'm just making notes as I go. So it's kind of how I do it. Like I said, I am not a UI first connoisseur. I am more of the let me make it work. So maybe doing this backwards, but this is how I do it, and we're gonna get somewhere though. So what I did is I just started a session, and I said I'd laid out. I knew we had these stages because we're taking PDFs and turning them into markdown files. And I needed a reliable way to do that. And I didn't want to spend a lot of money. And some of these things cost, a lot of money to get, especially if they get complicated, because PDFs can get complicated really fast. And I've learned more about PDFs than I ever thought I would. So I know that it's it's a lot different than what I had in my head. That's for sure, because it's basically instructions how to render, right? So it's just rendering instructions. It's not really text based at all, right? So you gotta turn all of that back into text. So I had an idea with the new Gemma model that's, open source and available. Wanted to test it out and see how it did. And it honestly does really good, like really good. I honestly think this is probably its best feature so far that I found. Now, I've not tested it a lot, but it doesn't handle multi-step tool calls real well, so I do know that. But this single use and its vision part of it is really, really good, obviously. So I came up and iterated. We came up with this plan and we called it PDFer, which I said is a horrible name. We'll change that later. But this is kind of phases. So just, ingest, like anything, you upload your file and it goes through PDF Plumber. And then the detect stage is, this is wrong. It's not Gemma here. Here we're using, the model is YOLO, YOLO, YOLO. And it's an actual trained, very small model that's running locally to detect objects. So it goes through that first, and this, can I go back? I can't go back to the stage, but this is what you end up with, these objects, right? And we want to do that because once we get objects detected, then you can extract the text from that object. So the goal was always to turn everything on a PDF into some kind of object. So this is an image or a figure, table, then your paragraph, which is text. So that's kind of like I said, and you can see it actually is working. So now we've got thresholds on here. There's a confidence level, and you can auto approve. So we've got a human in the loop to verify. But one of the other things we're doing is we're collecting data on all of our corrections. So if I have to correct something, and let me see if I can find. Well, down here there's it doubled up on this one. You can see it classified as a paragraph, and it also as a page footer, which it actually is a page footer, and it has been classifying it as a paragraph. So it picked it up. Now, not on our training yet, because we have not done that, but we are collecting the data so we can run fine tuning on the local model, which again, it's very small, so you can run it on a local GPU. To hopefully, that's the goal, is to hopefully make it better over time, so this human in the loop part becomes less and less. That is my mad scientist in the basement idea. And everything's working, so the only thing we've got to do is process enough of these to get enough data to make that first run to see if that, if it makes a difference. But before we get there, we've got to make this flow better from start from right here. This would be your home page again, which is horrid. And take you all the way through these stages up here. Ingest, detect, review, extract, and assemble. And we're at this review stage right now. And after you approve all of these, it takes you to extract. So anyway, no need going through all that right now, but we're trying to reorganize this, make it look better, and make it actually flow from start to finish, and make the presentation much better. So, this layout's not terrible, but it looks like it's again from 1997, maybe 98. What was it? Windows 97? I don't remember what that big one was. All right, so like I said, tonight's going to be a little more laid back and chill here at the beginning, because I've got to it's hard to think, man. It's hard to think sometimes. And if I can give it a real good start and description of the aesthetic I want, will be good there. But I've got to make sure I have this this actual logic and how it's wired into the UI. I've got to make sure I have that detailed, or detailed enough for it to understand what I'm saying. So that's why I'm trying to take my time here and get my thoughts together. So it's really here where I need to so we're going to get rid of this up here. I'm really thinking through my shortest path to how to describe. I'm thinking as much about that as I am because we still need all of these controls. We still need this. We definitely need this. This is very helpful. I've already found already. The unreviewed we definitely need because there could be a lot. As you can see. So all of this we keep, we're gonna present it differently. And we also need this Q view. Say that, Brian, 3 times real fast. But you know what? This is not canvas view. Yeah, okay. I had to think that out for a second. Yeah, we still need this view. I need to do this. This is what I need to do right now because that. Oh. Gotta start just getting this out of my head, or I'm going to forget things as I go. So, gotta make a list. Gotta make a list. Lists are good, man. Lists are good things. All right, so go back here. And I'm so visual. Let's start on the canvas view. I'm abandoning. I'm pulling the plug on something here. I'm gonna go back to, this is my original idea here. So this would be still like this. right. Sorry about that. I should have muted my mic. Allergies are killing me right now this time of year. All right, what's after review? Symbol. To make it smaller and to make it smaller. Let's do it all. Come on. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect there, Brian. Let's go. Let's move. Let's keep moving. I did. Odd behavior. Why did it put it on top? I think I got one too many. Let me just make sure. We're good. I just got to get rid of this one. Let's see what happens. Oh, come on, Brian. Group them. Group them, group them, group them. You see group? No, I'm not missing it, am I? Am I crazy? You can group in this, right? No, you can. That is odd. What am I doing wrong? I know you can group. Like that one, select that one. Oh well, maybe you can't. Thought you could. Still gonna do it. Yeah. All right, this is very rough. Gonna have to do that again. No, just need to do these. That's a shame. That is a shame. A shame. A shame. A shame. It's way off too. Let's do this. sure you get them all. It seems like such an odd thing that they don't have that. It really does. All right, just need 2 more of them. I'm sure there's a faster way, but we didn't find it. Oh, now I do this. There you go. There's your faster way, Brian. Sometimes just a little slow, just a little slow, but we get there. Back. Is there what else? What else do I need to show? What else do I need to show? We're already picking this up. So we need, yeah, how many pages? Is there anything else we could all right, let me think about this. Do this. Something like that. And let's see. Let's do one more. What happens if I go? That's what I honestly wish I need to do that. No, back up there. There we go. Trying to do here. that back up to here. There we go. Make this one. Something like that. So you get at least a little bit of, because this is going to be, my idea here is I want to keep it like monochrome for the controls, because you're going to focus on the PDFs, and that's going to be, you know, take center stage. So I want to keep this more monochrome looking. Plus, I just like that. All right. Let's just, it's gonna know, but let's just say what's going on here. Let's do medium. Oh, adjusted this. That's why. All right. Again, I'm thinking about how I carry. Oh yeah, page numbers. We need page numbers. Where am I going to put that? So we need to this. Slide this over. Let's see. Be just as quick if I did it. I think it'll be just as quick. Get rid of that. This down. I want to do this because actually do it all. Which one do I want? That one. All right. So here we're just gonna file name. Larger. there. Gonna move this over. Alright, it's good enough, Brian. Doesn't have to be perfect. Come on. Alright, so now we just copy this. Oh, what I want to do in here is 6, 6, and then what I'll do. Again, Brian, doesn't have to be perfect. All right, let's copy that. I'm not going to do this all the way down, but a couple times here. Alright, I'll just say here. Alright, that's for, actually should put this. There. This will all go away. Anybody watching live, tell me where you're watching from. Just say hi. Okay, so that's I think that's all we're gonna need. So I already got this answered. This needs to be carried over to here. Need to fix this. All right. You user can and Gemma as option here. Stage header at top. You use that clear indication of past stage and current stage. Okay, so you can carry this over. That's not good. That's better. Let's do this. No. Hang on, let me do it. Go back. Just gotta make sure we give them that. We're getting close here. We're getting close. I've got it. Come on, bro. Hit the right key. Hit the right key. I don't know what I did right there. Undo. There we go. I've got to do one other last thing here. Because I think I can describe... I don't know. We're going to try to describe the aesthetic that we're going after. And I think with this image, it'll kind of understand what I'm trying to do. But very important part. Actually, you know what? We're going to do something else. I got a better idea. But I still need to look at this. Okay. So let me go back here. Sure I get the terms right. Object inspector needs to be, this needs to be out and separate. This needs to be within here. No, this does need to be inside, but this needs to be collapsed with just this pending state. Yeah, that'll look better. Like object inspector, so I've got enough here, I think. Come on, all right. Stop trying to spell like a country boy from Indiana, man. Oh, I'm not a country boy from Indiana anymore, though. I'm a country old man from Virginia. This is a description, right? AI reads. See if I don't get that right. I knew I was going to spell that wrong. Sometimes you don't get all the words out of your brain. To the end. Only visible. What does it read now? Ending. I think that covers that. Let's go back and that'll give it a clear picture of what I'm trying to go after. Let me give it one. I said get rid of all hard borders. So we want things, so let me go back and do this. This is not really under review. Let's go. Let's put it up here. Big words are hard. Aesthetic. Wow, aesthetic. that there, and then say so that's the overall for the components, the background. And then we gotta say I should put it down here. Should put it down here. Let's put it down here. Okay, I'm not gonna get it. No, I know what. How you spell that word? There you go, Brian. Back up here and add something. Can't even spell that word. I think I can get this one now. No, I'm not. Yeah, I am. Everything's a challenge, man. Everything's a challenge. I don't think in English words well. Futuristic minimalist. That gets that. All right, so here I'm gonna go back and say. Let's go back up here and let's add number 1. This is how I get things out, just so you can understand the craziness. So you get to see this all raw and live. This is how I work. I start stepping through things and I start putting things together. We're going to iterate. We'll refine that, and then we're going to build. Right? So it's kind of how it goes. All right, and I think I've already forgotten. No, I haven't. Come on. This is where I'm gonna hype them, man. This is where Opus 4.7 is going to take it personal. Well, I'm not going to say that. This is where, with Opus 4.7, it's going to activate certain pathways, I believe. All right. And I'm not trying to be woo-woo or anything like that. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it does something. This is where I think, this is my theory, right? This is where I think 4.7 is different from any other model that I've worked with since February of last year. Every night I've done this. This model wants to be like, golly, how do you say it now? I'm not going to say it right. It's like it was trained, or the personality is to be a partner. And I think I read this report where Anthropic like tried to dial that back here on this model. And to me, it makes sense now, because I thought that was odd, because like, wasn't one of Claude's famous things is its personality, right? Or whatever you want to call it. But so why would they dial it back? I thought that was odd. And that I had read that before I even got to, use the model yet, because it was during the day I was working. And after about 14 hours or so, I think I understand. I think it was overly, or it wants to be your partner. It has this training desire to be your partner, or to act as a partner, or act agenic as a partner. Now, people are gonna be like, this dude, he don't know what the hell he's talking about. I'm just giving you observational hours of observation. But no, I think I think it makes sense. It could be that. It could not be that. But I do know that it wants to be, it can be hyped up, right? It definitely can be hyped up. So that's what I'm doing up here. So I need to make a review. I feel like I already said this. Yeah, I did down here. We're going to do it again. So it's reinforced and it's number 1 here. Either first or last. If you want them to remember something, you either put it first or last. So we're focusing on the look, feel, animations, motion. We're gonna say smoothness, rolls, let's put here I am getting close to where I think I have enough, because I'm telling you, this model is very smart, and it will, if it's, I also think if it's not clear on something because it wants to be, you know, a part of what it's doing. Like, I think that's a better way of saying it. Like, they're trying to make it invested in whatever it's doing. Like, because that's one of the things, and I only say this because I think they spend time on this emotional side of things, right? Like, they obviously are. So I think they're trying to make, this is really going to sound woo-woo, but I think they're trying to make mathematically, computationally, Claude have some kind of investment in the project it's doing. And maybe I'm saying this the wrong way, but ultimately what they're trying to do, I think, is make it check itself and have a reason to check itself, right? So, and since it's trained on all this human data, I mean, that's all it knows, right? It only knows human behavior. So it's obviously, to be invested in something, you have to try to mimic something, right? That would be, well, if I was a partner, then I kind of care whether this, you know, passes or fails. I don't know, man. It's Monday night. There's nobody in here, and I'm rambling. And I say nobody's in here because there's nothing in the chats, y'all. Nothing. Nothing in the chats. But that's all right, because we're getting to the good stuff now. We're gonna do something that, all right, we're gonna copy this. Oh man, when I hit that key, I tell you, hit the key. Okay. Let me just do it over here. It'll be a lot easier. Can I move that down? Oh, there we go. What did I just leave off? It knows what we're doing. Oh, I just thought of something here. Let's give it an example because I want this. I'm gonna leave this out. use that word. That's definitely gonna know. It's definitely gonna know now what I want. I'm gonna tell it to think. Make it important. May not make a difference. May not make a difference if I can't spell it. Think here. Don't hurry on this. This one is important. And we want to say. Let's look at something here. No, image. Now watch this. Gonna end it. Do it down here. I'm gonna do it down here. First and last. First and last. Come on. Get me out of that. There we go. All right. I think we are finally finally ready to go. So I'm going to copy all this. Oh no, you're not in NeoVim, Brian. You can't use Y. Do Shift V. We're gonna do this, and we gotta go grab that image. Can delete that. Alright, so let's just print screen. Drop that in. Yes. Call it dashboard. All right, here we go. Uh-oh. You got somebody in lurking. Glad you're here, man. Glad you said something. It's very cool. You have any questions? I'm happy to answer if you just want to tell me what you're working on. Second, it's not trying to put your comment up on screen here, brother, but I gotta turn it on. Now I think we got it. I like the name Chunk Tech. Yeah, I like that, man. All right, so what did he say? So he's read it carefully. Tactile, that's a great description that I wasn't using. Yep, that's exactly what we're after. Tactile, atmospheric workspace. No go back dead end. That's right. We got to get rid of that nonsense. Warm dark gray base, not pure black. Monochrome black white grays. No hard borders. Correct. Components feel like discrete instruments. That's correct. Backlit selection states electric almost alive. That's correct. PDF is the centerpiece, large, visually dominant. Region boxes color-coded but type approved. Yes, yes, yes. All right, it's going to build a static React mock of the dashboard first. No back-end wiring, just the look and layout so you can react to it. Yep, that's what we want. Review mock is the second pass. It's the more complex. Yes, it is. All right, I am going to build it. I swear to God, there's probably a tool already out there, but I'm going to build one where I can just plug this number in, because I do not know color numbers. I do this every time. Do it every time. I don't have to do that. Just let off. We got it. Yeah, it always wants to go orange brown. No, that's not what I want. is. Let's see what that one is. Yeah, let's go back. Yeah, no, that's too dark. We want this one. We want that one. Yes, go build. Junk Tech, are you still in here, man? Are you working on anything? Got any projects you're building? Or do you have an idea? You don't have to tell me like your idea, like specifics, but like in general. You came in tonight, man, and you didn't get to see a lot of action there. But you did get to see how I kind of iterate, I guess. Get ideas out. All right, let's see how close it is. It's not terrible, but man, it does love that brown. It's not terrible though. We got the settings button. We picked that up from our notes. This is our directory that I said we've got to select. So we're going to point this list to this directory. So that's what that's showing. Yep. Okay. All right, what'd you say? Just watching to get ideas of capabilities. I've only used the web interface mostly for building power automate workflows. Well, they're good at that, man. And honestly, that's what I'm trying to do here. That's why I'm working on. That's what this is. This is a PDF to markdown extractor, so I can take PDFs and get them down to markdown, so then I can feed it to. First, we're going to have a wiki, so you can search over through a wiki, and then also I have a bigger plan where we're going to integrate RAG and wiki together and kind of make a small business package. That's the idea anyway. But yeah, man, it's really impossible to keep up with this stuff anymore, it seems like. I think I can actually live with this. Because I'm interested in, we can always change colors, right? But the layout I like. Yeah, we're gonna roll with this and have him build out. I said him again. Have it build out. Every Colorado sunset has a kind of fading glow. Though they're all so different, everyone it's good. Nothing really lasts forever, but a memory can be something that can always capture. I don't need to say that. So quickly, every Colorado sunset will come yet and then will go. I will never forget if I always go where I met him once so long ago. Gonna hype him a little bit. I'm telling you, it works. So I'm just saying here, it looks good that what we looked at. I like the layout. And I'm saying we got to mock out this view. This is the big one, right? Like this is the one that's the main one. So we're going to move to that. And I just said, lock in, think about it. And I also said, I know that this is a mock and that not all of what I talked about in my notes to it about effects and motion and animation can be done here, but just get the layout. So see what happens, man. Where are you watching from, Chunk? Chunk Tech. That's a great name, dude. Chunk Tech. Let's see. It's gonna ask me a question. This is one thing I think people complain about. My thinking before I touch code. See, it just has this different personality to it. It wants to. It just needs a little confirmation, right? Spatula, which I mean, I understand that probably the people that hate this the most are the people trying to run 15 of these at one time, right? They got 15 workstations open and they're trying to just do it the old way. And I think these things are becoming more agentic, but not with, what am I trying to say? Not by a CLI interface and just doing it this way, right? Like they're becoming more agentic to make longer runs, so you can give them a bigger task and more. But it is very, it wants to make sure it's doing the right thing. So again, I appreciate it, especially when you're still learning. All right, right, so center of the PDF. Yes, we definitely want that. Large with soft backlit halo. Yes. Page looks like it's glowing. Exactly. See, man, they are so good. You just have to give them a little bit of detail. You don't have to spell it all out, and they just pattern, man. The pattern match. All right, left rail, stage indicator, ingest. Okay, I'm good with that. Vertical, I like that. It's different. Oh, it was asking me. That's funny. It wasn't really asking me anything. That was just this thing thinking through it. See, before I touch code, let me think back through this. This is what I'm gonna do. This is different, man. This is some different stuff from 4.6 and 4.5, and 4.5 was awesome. I really need to be able to click through here, man. I can't do it. All right, this has got to be a lot larger. A lot larger. Our stages. That's Apple-esque. That's all it's doing. It's mimicking Apple. Because I said minimalist. So pages here, but I'm gonna assume this is. Yeah, you could do. 175, 150. That's really where we need to be. But I'm an old guy, right? So some people may want it down here, but no, you need it up here because you're going to be clicking through. Like, see, you got to click through these boxes and approve. These colors will not work though. There's got to be a lot more separation. There's no way that's gonna work. So how do I do this and now make it look like just gonna tell it. Let's see what happens here. just telling it we gotta make a lot bigger color separation between these blocks. And I know why it defaulted this way, because minimal. Now I did say in my description that there needs to be, a lot of attention paid to this, but still, I think it just defaulted to this minimalist view and keeping everything soft and warm, because I think I said warm. It's those kind of things, man. They pick up on certain words, and the way you say things, it matters. And I think most people are quick to blame, the AI, but most of the time it's still a computer, man. It's still just non-deterministic computer, but it's still just bad input, you get bad output, man. That's just the way it works. Let's see what it did. Do that? Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, that's much better. Alright, so can I approve one here? You didn't wire anything like that up. Oh, here's my approve. All right. What happens if I approve? Can I approve? That's not very good. Reject, approve, now. But I can live with that. You can get through that quick. You'll know what that is. I think we got it. It's close enough. Yeah, we're gonna go. We're going for it. All right, now I can show you something, if you're still here, Chunk, that I use all the time, and this is the only way I can build projects, honest to God, with AI. Let's do it this way. Context. Nah, let's do it. We're good. Save context. Let's just say direction. Alright, so this is a tool. It's the first major thing I built. And it's a project management tool for building with AI. It's AI first project management tool. So these are all my projects. And this is a database, Postgres vector database, which just means you're taking text and you turn it into vectors, numbers. And you see this just change? I told it to come here to this project, PDFer, and save a context on what we just did and the direction we're going. So I use this. If I go all the way back to, this is the first context. It's the birth, right? This is the start of it. So, what did I do there? What in the world did I do? I gotta quit hitting that mouse button, man. I don't know what I did there. All right. So anyway, from, the very start to the, whenever you finish, if you're ever finished with a project, because you're never finished. But it's the only way I can maintain a project, really. I mean, I can keep everything going. Something breaks, I know why it broke. I know how we fixed it. All of it's stored in here, and the AI can search over this. So it's context. It's all about context. And what I just gave the AI just now, that's probably the most I'll ever say about this project going forward. Unless I just really need to change something major. Other than that, everything runs through Mandrill. So what do we got? Stack choice. Vanilla. CSS, that's good. Not Tailwind, not style components, that's perfect. 90% custom effects, layered box shadows, keyframe, animations, yep. Framer motion, I knew that's what it was going to be. Lucid React, that's cool. PDF rendering, React PDF, wraps PDF.js. Mock fakes a page, real PDF needs actual, yeah. Clear breakout. Sign tokens, screen or dashboard or review settings. All right, so he's just saying builds out the effects first, and then he can reuse them everywhere. For actual emotions I'll need to build. This might be iffy. Sometimes they struggle with, but I've not worked with 4.7 on Framer, so we're going to see if it's better. It'll knock this thing out in probably 15 minutes. Before I start, what are your questions, dude? Yes, Framer, yes. Keep the existing components and refactor them in place or build the new screens fresh alongside. Swap over once ready. I'm gonna say yes to fresh along. Side. Just That's on me. It's not on that model. How did you get context? Is it something to enable, or did you say you built it? I built this tool that I call Mandrill, and it's a database that I'll show you right here. Where is it? Let's pass this. Oh, it's right here. And Anthropics changed this so you can't see as much. Well, yeah. Can I do it? No, I can't do it from there. But it says called Mandrill 2 times, so it can. It's a MCP, which just means it connects to the AI. It's a tool that allows the AI to connect to my database. So it connects to this database, and this is the context, and that's what you call, you know, what you prompt and you give it is context. That's what they call it. So you have, you know, what they call a context window. When I started thread, if I go back over here, you see down here it says context. Can you see that on screen? My logo's in the way. Hold on. Get rid of that. All right, down here in the bottom corner, and actually I can do this. That right there. That's a context window, right? So it's how you have this much room and whatever that size is. Now this one is 1 million, which is huge. And me personally would never go that high, but so you have that much room. And every time you send a message, it fills that context window up just a little bit more. So, you know, that this model can only process what's in this, what it can hold in this context window. So that's why when I say context, that's what I'm referring to, because anything you send it is considered context. That's, you know, you're telling it what you want it to do. I remember to get out of that. There we go. So yeah, so when I'm over here talking and we're working, I can tell it to save context over here in this database, and it'll come over here and save a note. And you can see we have different types. Like this is a decision that we made. This was a task it was doing, so that's a completion. There's a handoff, and I use that all the time. So when I'm finished tonight, that's the last thing we do, is I'll tell it to save a handoff, and it'll summarize everything we did in the session. And if there's anything lingering left to do, it'll tell. If I bring this one up, there should be I don't tell them to do all this, man. Like this much detail. They just know, they know how to do this. See, it says known issues and gaps, so that the next one comes in, it's gonna know, right? What's going on. I don't think enough people realize what you can do if you give these models a place to save, their work and save notes to themselves, and you can do a lot. I mean, I'm a flooring rep, dude, or ma'am. I don't know, male or female. I don't know, but anyway, I'm a flooring rep. I've been doing this since February of last year, but I do it every night. So anyway, all right, back to this. Yes to that. PDF rendering. You already have page canvas. That is already going on to keep on there. Yes, it's working. Well, you can keep. Do I need you to audit the state changes? Yes, audit, because that's one of our issues. I'm gonna say use your judgment here, just so we can keep going. All right, that's good. So did I answer your question about context? And don't ask me anything, man, because I'm don't listen. You can see I there's not anybody in here watching, right? But I'm doing this honestly because when I was trying to learn, it's hard. Like, it's hard, man. Like, and everything I've learned is from trial and error, and which is not a bad pathway, but if you can get some help along the way, and I'm not saying I can help, man, but I know how to get answers. I can do that well. So, just saying, feel free. And there are no dumb questions or anything like that, especially when it comes to this. All right, so see, I got to confirm. This is a thing again that I think annoys people. It's very careful. Very careful. Yeah, we definitely want that. And where this is annoying to some people, you can see for me how like it's catching edge cases, right? Like it's catching. And listen, this is probably a pretty obvious edge case, but still. All right, what do we got? Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. That's probably this is my most I was gonna say my most complicated build, but it is. It was, especially at the time when I did it. But I knew what I wanted, right? Like I plan a lot. Like I plan a lot. I think that's the key. Like you really have to understand. You have to understand kind of this, like a system, right? Like you got front end, you got a back end, and then you take the front end, you break it down. That's going to be your UI, so that's how I talk to it or try to, is in systems or components or functions and logic. You got to get your logic right. If you can get the logic right, everything else is pretty, except for front end stuff. Front end stuff is still hard because it's so subjective. and hard to explain. In or it's hard to explain for me in words. All right, so what do we say here? I want to say option B. Side can be. Alright, what's the other one? Canova plus HTML overlay alignment on Zoom pan. If the PDF stage supports Zoom, the HTML overlay needs to transform with a Canova viewport. Solvable but non-trivial. Want to confirm is yeah. You're good. It's very cautious, man. Very thorough. That's a better word. Before I start building, 3 things I need to know from you. Does the current page support Zoom pan? Does the current page support Zoom pan? Not by mouse. No, it does not. Oh no, we'll close it out. Wrong key. Alright, oh no. Okay. And routing. The existing app uses what for routing? And check. No preference. Now. No dead ends, wire everything up, no mock data unless clearly defined. I hate mock data. That's not a big problem as much anymore, but used to be. They would tell you something's wired up and have mock data in there and it's not wired up. Weird behaviors, man. Alright, it's off and working. So Estimations. All right, it's saying 12 build phases. I'd rather ship it in order above. But first, we're going to go to Mandrill, and we're going to save this to Mandrill. First save. Actually, I'm not going to do it that way. I was going to make it follow this one workflow, but we're not going to. I want to see what this thing does, handling it all on its own. Uh, 12 phase plan to Mandrill, create task as well. I'm going to leave that off too. But I am going to say this. That's just a little test. It's just a little test. I'm telling it to save the plan to Mandrill. So we come back over here. We should see a context pop up here in a minute. And then I also gave it the option because we can track task, right? Like to do and in progress. But I gave it the option to use that feature if it wanted to. I'm just curious to see what it does. And there's our planning context. So now I've got, you know, our overall plan saved in here. So if I had to stop right now, I could stop right now, come back tomorrow, and we pick up right where we left off. So, and it did do task. Look at that. Look at you go, Opus. Hyping it up, man. Nice work on the plan. So now if I go back over here, you can see it moved this task into in progress. So you can see, you know, kind of track what's going on here. And again, you know, the reason this has saved me a lot of times because you know, you can lose connection, you can get 404 errors, you can I've seen this do weird things, you know. So it used to be if you don't have it saved somewhere, you lose what you were working on, and if it's a big build or it's complicated, you can lose track quick. Chunk, if you're still here, I'm not sure if you are, man. You're still hanging in with me. this is my other build. Excuse me, my other, I guess, big build. Kind of proud of this one, honestly. This is a Squire, my personal assistant. And you have a chat window, you know, just like kind of standard, but I did change it up. Instead of bubbles, these are cards. So if I have an interaction, so this is a message I sent yesterday. Or was this today? Yeah, no, this was today. So this is my day job stuff. I can use it to track things for me, and that's what it's doing here. I have objectives, and just having it track and check off these objectives, but this is a card, so I can actually save this if I needed to. And I added this because you're spending money on these tokens and you lose them, right? Like you get information and then it's just gone. So what if it's something that you want to save? So now I can save, you know, this individual interaction. I can also get, if I want something presented in more of a report. This is actually, I guess, something on PDF or... Oh, this is the initial plan, I guess. I started with this. So yeah, so you can get, it can give me a report like this. I can extract it or export it, copy it, PDF or Markdown. I have a document chat window, so again, I have a database connected to this where I can upload documents. If I have this document in here, then I can click on it. It's going to show it here in Markdown, and then you can chat over that document. So you kind of have a clear chat over just that document. What else did I do that's different here? That's pretty much it there. Voice to text or speech to text. I can upload images tied to Google Calendars, have lists, notes. You can pin notes, and if I pin notes, then the model actually sees these pin notes, and it's kind of like a memory to them. So yeah, that's Squire. It does a little bit more than that too, but it's kind of the gist of it. And my own proprietary memory system. All right, phase 1 is done. All right, man, it is 11:08, which means it's time for me to start winding down for the night. Is it a web app? No, it is not a web app. It is on, well, yeah, it's built as a web app. Yes. I have it serving, I have a VPS, and it's serving on my VPS. It uses Sonnet 4.6 as the main agent, but I also have, I guess you call them workers, agent workers in the background. It uses Grok 4.1 fast reasoning, which is cheap and they're pretty good. But the main agent you talk to is Sonnet 4.6. And Yeah, the whole idea with the memory system is it's generated memory. It's not really retrieved. So like when it comes in, it has this context package generated of past memories or past conversations based on these values. Stronger memories surface, or higher, have a higher value, and those take precedence. So it's synthesized basically. And the idea there is to, it comes in, it already kind of knows what's going on and knows current information about you. And then it can also search the database. I can show you. So this is the actual graph. It's a visual. So this is obviously not all of the memories. You can't show them all, or it'd slow it way down. But this is kind of how things are connected by relationships. So, Squire obviously is the biggest because I was dog fooding it and building it and talking to it about it and all this other stuff. But you see this flooring, I'm a flooring rep, right? I think I told you that. So you can see I use it for work. Like it starts connecting dealers and Charlottesville. This is a particular dealer that I was at last week, so it's a stronger memory here because it's more recent. And then you can, like if I want to search by different entities, things that talk about Claude code. This is everything connected to Claude code that's in here that I've talked about. Wilf Command is just a little app I built for my work. Yeah. So it knows, it knows what's going on, and it's I'm trying to make it a true personal assistant. And honest to God, it works pretty well, man. Now, it's not cheap. I will say that. It checks my emails. This is, and that doesn't use Sonnet. This is using the Grok model, the small model. So like, dedicated task, I can just use those smaller models and get by with. I started out with this trying to do everything local, but local models just aren't there yet, or open source. There's a few more that's come out recently that, especially Gemma, but the Claude models, man, are so good at like chat. So it's all right. Where are we at? I need to tell him to keep going. All right. Let me see if I can get it to keep going, because like I said before, I know this is one of the biggest complaints from people is that it's too careful. So let's see if it'll complete phase 3 and then go to phase 4. And I could also show you like today, no, that's not it. I need to go to time. So I didn't use it a whole lot today, but you can see these are extractions that it's made. It's a little personal information there. Probably shouldn't have broadcast. This is an appointment I scheduled today. And that is on my calendar right here. So as I chat we extract memories, we extract entities, and then we extract, hopefully, relationships between entities. So, like I said, it's working well. The one thing I can say honestly that's needs a little work is just there's an emotional value I put to this to try to dial in that, I don't know how you say it, connected, really know you, feel. I don't have that exactly right just quite yet. Yeah, reminders. So that's pretty much it. Oh, I can show you if you're still here. This is actually kind of, this looks chaotic, but this is what's being fed as context to Sonnet when it comes in. So this is kind of an overview. So living summary. So this is, a synthesized overview of me from the database. So then pin notes. I told you, like, we have notes down here. So if I pin something, it's going to know that. It's going to be put in its context. Today, the most recent things extracted. It kind of tries to form a belief system of me. Having a plan is necessary to achieve goals. Yeah, I pretty much believe that. So yeah. Anyway, if you are interested, man, I'm working on. I haven't done it in a couple weeks. I need to get back to it, but I'm working on an open source version of this. And the reason I don't have it open source now is just because this chat, everything's connected, right? Like this chat or this model can connect to my database here. Like right now, I could say, let's do it this way, PDF or I'm just saying, I'm telling it to go to Mandrill and switch to this project that we're working on, PDFer, and get in context, get recent, which is just the command I use. That's the command it uses to pull context. So it's gonna go here to this project, and it'll pull these last 5, unless it gives it a specific number, but defaults to 5. So, come on, man. Watch it not work. Nah, but man, I mean, seriously, it's been up. I've had one issue, it happened the other day, but it's because I'm gonna keep, I feel like I'm just rambling here, but this thing, since it's on my VPS, it can run Claude Code headless, so it can basically work on itself. Plus this agent has its own tools, and I really did this because if I need a special PDF or a special Excel file, or better example is this tracking it does for me, because my objectives for my day job may be different from one month to the next. I can just tell it, I need to track this, so it can go spin up and write a little script for whatever we need to track it. But anyway, so yeah, so see, it did it. That's a lot of activity. Here's the overview. PDF is deep in a UI rebuild right now. Just 17 minutes ago, a 12-phase plan was locked, full React 19. So see, it can talk to Mandrill as well. So I got to take this stuff out in an open source because it's specific for me. But that's the plan. That is the plan. All right, where we at? Did it keep going? Oh yeah, it's on phase 7, baby. We're rolling now. You're gonna be on my database, man. You're gonna forever be in my database. So we are live on Twitch and Chunk Tech is watching. Say hi. Hey Chunk Tech, welcome to the stream. All right, you're locked in, man. I'll tell you, I can show you too, just so how all of this is generated, like, you know, what triggers it. So we do what we call sleep, and it's kind of like, because everything I did on this memory system I tried to design around just me, my countrified way of trying to mimic human memory, right? So the idea of sleep is, you know, when a human goes to sleep, that's when all your memories are kind of consolidated and kind of put in place. So that's what we call it. I can run it manually, but it runs every, I think it's 30 minutes. If there's been chat. If there's no chat, it doesn't run. But if there's been, you know, chat exchange, it'll run, and it just brings in Sonnet, comes in and reads what's been extracted, synthesizes everything, stores it to the database, and makes the relations. So hey man, if you haven't followed me yet, I'd appreciate it if you just give me a follow. That'd help a lot. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Yes, hey, I am a big proponent of getting your own VPS, man, because you can do it. It's cheap. Now I have one that's, because I've got a website on it. I've got Mandrill's on it. Let's see, Squire's on it. I've got a couple other things too, but I also got one a little bit bigger than I probably need, because I was trying. Well, actually, I do run a very small model on that VPS. It's a classifier. Because I had to tune this memory in to get it kind of, you know, things to surface right. So we had to classify things a little better. So that's the reason I got it. But anyway, my point is, you can get probably $12-15 at the most. You could get one that would run Squire easily. Plus you got a backup. You can back up to it. Yeah, if you're comfortable working in command line at all, I don't really know why. I mean, you got to do the maintenance, you got to do your updates and stuff, but it's cheap. I just wish GPU time was cheap. That's not cheap. Trying to hang in there, man. But this old man's got to get up and go to work in the morning, so I'm hoping it gets done here so I can at least test it real quick. Where you from, Chunk? Or where you watching from? All right, yeah, man. I'll catch you later. I appreciate you sticking in here and asking questions and interacting. That's cool. Oklahoma. That's beautiful, man. I say that. Well, I think that's not one place I've been to. Going through it with oh, things, man. Things are wild. It's gonna get weird. I'm telling you, it's gonna get really weird. I don't think a lot of people have any clue what's coming. Story and completion context, doing it on its own now. There you go. It's a weird way to say that. Yep, it's the same one. Wait, yeah. I have to start the back end. Yeah, that's what I thought. think I'm being an idiot. I think I'm being an idiot. I am being an idiot. It's all right. All right. It's all right. How do I handle security? It depends on what I'm building. Like this particular one right now, I have basically nothing in there, right? But this is on my local machine. I'm not serving it anywhere. With Squire and Mandrill, I lock down the VPS as much as I can. I use Tailscale, which is hopefully another layer. You can't just SSHN. Have to be on the Tailscale network to do that. That's one of the things with the OSS version of Squire that I'm going to do. That's really the big thing that I'm working on. Is to get it more secure where I'm comfortable saying, yeah, I've done everything I can. But you're never going to lock these things down completely, man. That's one of the things. Because prompt injection is a big one, I think, that you got to watch out for. So there's things you can do, but that's another thing about like the VPS I like, because I really like it's under, you can monitor it, like it'll go get under attack. It's under attack a lot, but you can lock it down. I mean, and plus Hetzner is who I'm getting mine through, so they have their security as well. But yeah, security, especially today, right? Like, I guess you've seen all the news. Yeah, if I distribute the app, like I said, that's if I get that OSS completed, the open source version of Squire, then but where I'm concentrating, I'm trying to build towards is, again, I'm trying to give small businesses and local businesses a way to utilize AI, because they do a lot with not many people, right? So there's a lot of chores that could be automated. So that's a big reason I'm concentrating on more of this boring stuff right now, like a PDF to Markdown extractor. I just find problems, man. I get a direction. I find a problem, and whatever the problem is, I try to get to the root of that, and I work backwards. What am I doing here? I'm doing something here. What was I doing? I need to get my folder. This one. It's the one labeled test, Brian. That's the one it is. So can I put that in here? Not allowing me to do it, is it? Got my layout all jacked up here. All right, so it was telling me earlier that I can't set the file path through Windows, and not the way I want it to work, where I want to set a file path and they all load in here. It comes available, whatever's in that directory. So I've got to figure out where I've got to set it. I'm sure it's a config file. See, that is irritating, man. So irritating. Just build the plan, man. Don't. So we can still see what it's going to act like here. That's jacked. No, it's not. That's me. Can't zoom in. Can't zoom in that way because we're not. Get to there. 150. That's where we were at before. All right, so we click that. We got problems. We got problems. We don't have labels. We don't have confidence scores. Screenshot. You know what? This is a good place to stop. This is a good place to stop. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're good. We're good with that. I'm just telling it to create a handoff context, and that's where we pick up tomorrow. So again, that's why I built Mandrill, man, so I can do this, so I can work 4 or 5 hours a night and then come back the next night and do it again. So, all right, man. Chunk, if you're still in here, I really appreciate it, dude. It was cool. I appreciate you coming by, and anytime you want to come ask questions, or I'll try to help you out as much as I can. Until then, it's Ridgetop out.